Hey, I'm Andre, I'm learning game development from zero, and in this video I'll show you a week of progress on my first game. Last time I finished a very simple prototype with a ship that moves around using fuel, and it can land on a planet to get some more fuel. This week I want to achieve two things: add gravity to the planet and create asteroids flying around randomly as a source of danger for the ship. I'll start with the gravity and we'll see what happens. I'm not really sure where to begin. The first thing I did was to add an area to the planet that represents its gravity field. It uses collision signals to register when the ship enters and leaves the gravity field. That's all it does for now. There's no gravity. Let's keep going. At first I thought the best way to apply gravity would be to change the movement calculation. But then I realized I can probably just change the ship's position every frame while it's in the planet's gravity field, and that should do the job, right? I tried that and it works. Cool. The only problem is I don't really understand the code. Because I arrived at it by trial and error mostly, and I'm getting too tired to investigate it right now, so I'll wrap it up and be back tomorrow. I spent this morning cleaning up all code and better understanding the gravity bit. And I also centered the camera on the player, so it now moves as the ship moves. Let's take a peek at the gravity code. I check if there is any gravity source. I do that by setting the gravity source to the planet's position whenever the ship enters its gravity field, and I set it back to 0 when it leaves. So while the ship is in, the gravity pull function is called every frame, which basically just changes the direction of the ship by some distance every millisecond. Pretty simple. Basic gravity is done. But I can already see how it's not going to work once I add more planets. So I'll try adding more planets now before I move to asteroids. Don't you love it when the first thing you try works perfectly? I do. I added a second planet to the scene and used the group feature in Godot like this. In the ready function of every planet, I add the planet to the planet's group and then loop through each planet in the group and connect its signals to the ship. This will work for any number of planets. I think I'm ready to move on to asteroids now. Let's go. Alright, asteroids joined the party, but whoa, something is very wrong here. It's probably because the planet doesn't see any difference between collision with the ship and asteroids for now, so the asteroids turn off the ship's movement while passing through the planet. I can fix that next. But I'm getting tired today, so I would probably do more harm than good. So I will fix that and show it to you tomorrow. However, in search of inspiration for my game, I've spent a few hours tonight playing Sunless Sea for the first time. I never turn down an excuse to play games and call it research. So what is this game? Sunless Sea is a roguelike sea exploration game where you are a captain of your ship in a dark steampunk world. It has a rich atmosphere of sailing lonely, dangerous waters, discovering weird islands, managing fuel and supplies, and avoiding scary things so your crew doesn't go completely insane. I would like my game to have a similar vibe and mechanics. I like the idea of exploring unknown frontiers mixed with some light resource management and reading stories on the weird places you visit. Of course, my game needs to have much smaller scope, but I can imagine using something like ChatGPT to generate a bunch load of descriptions and stories and show them semi-randomly in a procedurally generated universe. The outcome would be much more random and unpredictable than a pre-designed world of something like Sunless Sea, but so much easier to make. Probably. I don't know if I'm going to take this direction, but I'm very tempted to. Also, I need to say, the soundtrack in this game is so good. So good. Just listen. Goosebumps. And now back to development. It's Thursday now because I needed to work on some other project yesterday. Back to asteroids now. I need to think carefully about the scope of work I want to accomplish with this prototype. It's Thursday and I want to finish this tomorrow. So I will focus on these things. Let asteroids collide with planets, create a cool explosion for when asteroids blow up, make the asteroids kill the ship on collision, and also fix a few major bugs. That should be doable. I cleaned up the asteroids code and moved it to its own scene. So now there is an asteroid field scene that generates instances of individual asteroids every few seconds alongside a path I placed around the main scene. You probably noticed I changed how they look. That's because I showed them to people yesterday and everybody hated them. No love for asteroid cookies. Lastly, I added a simple explosion animation, but the asteroids collide only with each other for now. Next, I'll make them interact with the ship and planets. Ooh, asteroids are more work than I expected. But this morning I managed to make the collisions work, finally. Okay, the main bucket of features for this prototype is done. Feels good. Although there are still some major bugs I want to fix before I ship this version of the game. Planets share one fuel reserve, but each should have its own. The ship can get more fuel than its maximum capacity, and the planet's fuel can go to the negative numbers. And lastly, the ship can now fly through the planet if it moves inside rapidly after taking off. I still have a few hours today, so I'll buckle up and try to fix these. Well, those bugs are hard to kill. I got stuck on separating the fuel reserves of planets. It's much more complicated than I thought. It's very nice outside today, so let's do just a short debugging session in the morning and then hopefully close this out tonight. Well, several hours in, I still couldn't solve even the first bug. Feeling very discouraged right now. Maybe I just need some more time on this. I don't know. I will turn in today and try again tomorrow. Sleep is magic. I was completely stuck yesterday, and today, after coming back to it fresh, the brain instantly handed me the solution with one line of code. Thanks, brain, you're the best. So now the planet's fuel reserves are separated. When I land on one and get fuel, it doesn't change fuel on others. I'm super motivated now, so let's murder some more bugs. This next one was pretty easy. I just check if there is enough fuel in the function gain fuel on the ship and drain fuel on the planet. I tried a fuel solution with the last one, but it's proven difficult. I did find a solution, but it only works with the gravity turned off. So I think I will call this bug a feature for now, because it's not game breaking, just weird, and I'll come back to it when I'm better. I could spend another day on it and probably fix it, but I find it's more important to manage my energy and excitement and choose my battles carefully. I want to ship this prototype already and keep going. That's it for the second phase of development. I'm happy with how it turned out. Gravity and asteroids were both fun to make, and I've learned a lot while trying to solve these problems. There are still some bugs, and it's not a full game yet, but I think I can get there soon enough. Let me know what you think about the game and about this video in the comments. I do my best to make it fun and interesting, and I want to keep experimenting and improving, so all your feedback is super valuable. Thank you for being on this journey with me. See you in the next one. Bye!